So this is okay here, and we're just watching um, a Crazyhouse World Championship round one match between Cross Online um, and MisterSir. They just played game one, which we just missed. Um, I should turn the engine off because this is still a live match. Um, just the one point we were thinking of is this one. Why not Queen takes f6? Was there any danger associated with that? Queen takes, bishop takes, knight at f3. So there is some danger because if king f1, knight at d2 is checkmate. But I thought takes. So this is not so easy. You'd have to step king to e2. And knight is defended. If knight here, we could just take this knight. So probably knight here, bishop takes, knight takes, and maybe king d1 is winning for white. So this was definitely double-edged, is the point. If king e1, knight here again, and the king can never go here because pawn here, knight here looks dangerous. But king here, and maybe white's winning. Maybe queen f3 is the best. Okay, so it was actually quite double-edged. Queen takes. So the move that white chose in the game was actually the best move in the position. I'll turn the engine off again. Queen e4, so threatening a queen invasion on h7 if the rook moves, and stopping the rook going to h7. Well, the bishop was already doing that. So this takes. This doesn't create a threat because the bishop takes the rook, and now the rook gets in on the back rank. This is now very bad. He's winning the queen, taking this pawn as well. The threat here is if rook takes knight, then bishop here check, queen here check, blocks, and pawn here will finish it off. Now, is there a more efficient way of doing it? After rook takes knight, I'll just quickly check the engine. Rook takes knight, bishop takes f6, king f8. Yeah, that is just the way to do it. So what actually happened in the game is the king moves, because this square is defended. So queen takes knight, simply remove the defender, defend again, knight check, and that's successfully deflected the defender, so queen here would have been mate, but instead he went here check, and checkmate. Okay, so that was game one. Hopefully I haven't missed game two in looking at game one. We are in game two now. Okay, and we'll commentate a little bit behind the action so we don't affect the live action. Hi there, gingerbread man. So MisterSir plays e4, so they both seem to play e4, and it's a Scandi from Cross Online, offering a pawn sacrifice which is refused, and both sides develop. Throws in a check, which is slightly annoying because if queen here takes, king takes, because the knight is pinned. So probably blocking with the pawn is advisable, and he does. Takes the knight and hits the weak pawn here. It's a fake fork because the bishop can always take the knight with check. So he defends the pawn. Okay, this is annoying because bishop, if pawn takes, bishop takes, and we're getting in on the light squares. Bishop at h4. Yeah, that's the kind of thing you can ignore. You can just keep on taking. So pawn takes pawn, bishop takes queen. Although it does threaten checkmate, pawn takes rook is getting a queen with check, and black recognizes that. Getting a queen with check, and white will only have a queen in hand, so not much to block with. So bishop takes queen will be, if pawn takes rook, if he's just sort of step up or something, yeah, it's not so clear, because the king is quite well defended, but yeah, I think just you're winning far too much material, and then you're taking the bishop as well at the end of it. So rook g1 is correct. f6, f6. Rook takes g2, so suddenly this isn't looking so pleasant for black. f6, rook takes g2, bishop h3, rook g1, g6. So this is very uncomfortable, actually, if you're having to put a pawn on g6. And can't really castle this way because this is opening you up completely. So white's doing really well here. At d3, is there no way of getting in? I guess you're getting in on f6, but this is defended a lot of times. So what do I think about this position? White always has a knight if he ever wants it. The pressure is on f6, potentially d6. This makes some sort of sense because the knight is protecting those two squares, although it does cut off your own defense of the bishop of the king side. Okay, but e3 is interesting. Takes, bishop here, rook here. I just say put more pieces on. That's the only slightly worrying thing about that move. The bishop is pinned. That's not a threat. Just trade off pieces. Again, back rank issues. He's winning a rook. Okay, he's winning the queen with check. But still, if black only has a queen, and I think white has enough to cause some serious damage here. But does he have just a pawn here, for example? Okay, so pawn here is coming with back rank ideas. So I think white is winning this, but the only problem is time. Only 7 seconds to convert it. He's going for a slow approach in a way. It's pretty good though. I mean, I see no mates on white is the point. Although black could try and expend material with some checks. Okay, he's just hanging this pawn here, check, which is going to be really nasty. Okay, so white is completely crushing here, but only has 3 seconds on the clock. Queen takes rook. Okay, it's time to attack. Ah, that is such a shame. That is such a shame. I mean, it's forced mate in this position. So just something like pawn here, check. King here. We could do something like rook here, check. If you take, we're just taking back. We've got a queen on the back rank, so you're doing something like this. And this is checkmate. So you have to step up, but then there's the same mating idea. Rook on the back rank, and that's checkmate. So, but white could have probably just gone straight in for it. Oh, I'm seeing lots of chat. I'm thinking white could have even just gone straight in for it here, even without anything. Just go for it. Knight takes e7, just bishop takes queen, and if you don't take it, then a rook on the back rank is mating you. So let's just read some of the chat. Gingerbread Man says, why at g6? Yes, I didn't understand at g6. He was worried about the g file. And hi there, Racing King's King. To protect the g pawn? Well, the g pawn was already, if you go all the way back to g6, the g pawn was already defended by the queen. So that wasn't necessary. Oppa says, pawn e7, yep, plus minus, but time. Queen in 1. Yeah, so what this is, I mean, it is interesting because this position looks quite good for black, and suddenly it went downhill very quickly. So maybe it's instructive to see what should black have played here. At h3 maybe, queen d7 just getting out of the way, f6 slightly weakening, and then g6 obviously is a mistake. I mean, so what is the correct move in this position? Hmm. So you probably want to play for at g4. Oh yeah, I said it before the engine said it. I said it and then the engine flipped to it. Yeah, you want some sort of at g4 and get in on those light squares. That would be the better strategy in that kind of position. Okay, so back to the live action then. Sorry, I've been... both players play e4, cross on line, e4, d6, and... Okay, so MisterSir is playing... avoiding openings with fairly passive setups as black, which is reasonable. He doesn't want to get stuck with opening theory against a player who probably knows it a lot better than him. But the disadvantage is he's getting very cramped positions as black, so it's going to be... so he's suffering a little bit, and with this knight in hand, White just wants to sack. Just... Oh, really? That doesn't look good, but this looks completely fine. I mean, black just needs to get e6 in and everything's fine, right? Okay. E takes d6. Interestingly, yeah, we can't go bishop takes because of queen takes g7, so that's slightly annoying. So he puts a knight on. Okay. I'm just worried about pawn here, but maybe there's nothing. Okay, the queen backs off. If pawn here directly takes queen, yeah, maybe there's nothing there. Oh, what? He's hanging g7, he's thinking after g7 this, but then... Yeah, actually, black gets a lot of counterplay, he gets g2. Okay, so he does this, and then he takes g7. Okay, but actually this seems almost playable. Queen takes knight, knight takes knight rather, yeah, knight takes knight, rook takes queen. And, I mean, in these games, I think MisterSir is playing really nicely. I mean, he's been doing really well. He's definitely holding his own. One thing he has to be worried about his back rank, and I've seen that in all of the games so far, all three of the games so far. Cross on lane loves to get on the back rank of his opponent. And this move, yeah, it looks nice, but you are letting your opponent defend with tempo. That's the problem. And now you need to find a good move. And it's not so easy. Just wondering if there are any really aggressive moves, but the potential knight checks are covered. Pawn here, king takes pawn, bishop here, check, block. Nothing there. So I don't see anything. The thing I noticed though is black has a lot of... This is the one thing black can improve, MisterSir. He's got two knights, a queen, a pawn in hand, and he's moving his pieces. This is not the way... Like, this is great. I mean, a great threat. He's threatening queen takes f2 and it's mating. But you need to get your pieces on the board. And this is a real problem. He's letting himself get attacked. Oh, okay, so he's just going for something very aggressive. Is there something here? There might be, actually. Oh, knight at... This is mating, right? Knight at, takes. And he's thinking about it. Can he find a mate? It's very dangerous. So he really saved up his pieces. Queen takes knight was a very interesting move. Knight here... Did it have to be taken? Maybe it did. Knight here, king here, pawn here. Was there any other option? I guess if you go in here, knight here is an issue. And then, yeah, but then you don't have this knight check. So I'm not sure if this is... Takes the pawn. This, it looks so close to being dangerous, but I can't see it just yet. And is black safe? That's the other thing. So in order to check if you're safe, you have to check, are there rook checks? Are there pawn checks? There is a pawn check. Are there knight checks? Oh my goodness, he goes hard. He goes hard. Bishop. He's going on the diagonals. That will cover this. Oh. The king was running. So bishop cuts the king off from running. So that was a little bit of a mistake. Oh my goodness, you're letting him take. This clears everything out. This is not the way to play this game. Okay, I'm just going to get backtracking a second. Bishop here is good because it cuts the king off. The king actually would only have this square and this square and this square to go to. And you have two pawns. But the problem is the king here is safe. So bishop here, king here. I don't see a check. So if you'd forced the king to go here, we've got pawn here, check. Huh, so king here was completely safe. What? He found a mate. What? Amazing! There was a mate with the rooks. How did I miss that? Gingerbread Man says, I mean, that was amazing from MisterSir. I was thinking he'd wasted his attack, but I'm just going to look at that final position. So first of all, was knight at f3 legit? Yeah, knight at f3 takes knight g2. Okay, was there any better defense? King f1 at e2, king takes e2 was also, or king d1 at e2, king takes e2. Oppa says after d3 check king d1. King takes e2, takes, after d3 check. Okay, so takes, queen here check. Yeah, I don't actually see anything. So he sacks the queen. The problem is this after d3 check, king d1 is safe. I was thinking king d2, yeah, and they're both completely safe. Now, what happens here? Bishop takes e1, rook takes, bishop takes, and just simply king takes is fine. And yeah, the Oppa says that. Just king takes, and no, this is still quite hairy, but the point is this square is not protected. So if rook here, it's important to go this way, isn't it? Because if you go this way, then there's pawn here check, king here, and knight here checkmate. So that's the only trick you'd have to be careful of. This way, then there are no more checks. Or there are some more checks, actually. Rook takes pawn, takes, pawn here, king here, pawn at b2, double check, but you can just take it. So you get out by the skin of your teeth. But was that all? This could have all been yeah, maybe it couldn't have been avoided. It was okay, but then what happened in the game was rook takes, and this is a really beautiful checkmate that that MisterSir found. So throwing everything in, and Cross Online didn't defend accurately. So wow. Okay, so we're in game 4 now, and we see Cross Online has already launched a big attack on the h3 square. I saw that in the live position, but just takes, check. That's a nasty discovered check, which wins the queen. Ah, so a nice little combination that white found in response with a fork on, and that's a serious threat, so that has to be defended. Okay, so at least that now the black king is a little bit safer. And now black counterattacks. Blocks, takes, check, blocks. Yeah, and this is black has a lot of diagonals to get in, and so this really needs to be defended or moved. This is too much, and I think it's now Cross Online just looking for the mate. So interestingly, these squares are both quite well covered. They're double defended, so if you take, you could go takes. But anyway, I don't want to say, yeah, let's look at the Twitch chat. Gingerbread Man says, it is still forced mate for white. So after king takes c1 in that last game, yeah, white got away with it. So there was no mate if he takes with the king. But this game, oh yeah, this game is forced mate, sure. I wasn't quite paying attention when that comment was. This is too much. What should he have done? I mean, maybe this is the point to defend. It's really hard. So hi there, Ilan Romeo 14. Yeah, I didn't read out Gingerbread's message properly. He said, lol, it is still force mate for white, haha. Okay, so nice G2. Okay, so white got the mate in the end. It ended up being a back rank mate. Yeah, welcome to the um welcome to the Crazyhouse show, Crazyhouse World Championship commentary. So yeah, how we did. Hopefully we have also we have lots of the regulars. Hopefully we have some new people to Crazyhouse too. So hopefully I can say some things which are enlightening. I mean, obviously this is a nice solid setup here for white. Strong center, as in chess. You need a nice strong center, and lots of pressure on h7. And what are Black's trumps card? Black really wants to get this diagonal open on the white king side. Um, so Black would be quite. So this is this knight's important to block off this diagonal, but also if takes. Oh, this is terrible. Yeah, because that knight was key because he wants white at some point to take, and that only improves Black's position. But taking here, you could take back, but the point is you're already tempted to just move in with a huge attack. Of course, Black could block, but this is. I mean, why? He's also dropping the queen. So the reason why Cross Online's thinking so long is just there's so many things to do. So I'd have taken on h7 first and then taken the queen, I think, myself. Just a huge material advantage. Takes h7 is a... well, king h8 is forced, so it's a free pawn. So what else? I mean, this is just dead, basically. Oppa, in disguise, says takes d8 and white got a winning attack. Yeah, I thought takes h7 first and then takes d8, but I think it comes to the same thing. I mean, here we can even do this. Knight here, check. If the king goes this way, queen here is... I shouldn't really be analysing live positions so actively, but yeah, indeed. If king here, it's going to be mated, so the king has to go somewhere else, and you can try and think where else can the king go. What could he do differently in the opening? So I think taking is the mistake. It's the... Oh, he went that way. Okay, so I want to just open up that last game. I think the mistake from MisterSir is why are you taking? Why are you taking pieces? You have to have a reason for taking a piece. Like, taking that piece is good if you want a knight. So, and let's see, does he need a knight? No, he's going on with d5. Well, if you want to play d5, play d5. By taking, why did you want that knight? Because by taking, you've given white a bishop, and that bishop, it could be white ends up using that bishop before you use your knight. So you have to ask yourself, why are you taking it? This bishop was doing a nice defensive job on e7. Yeah, there was no threat on that bishop. So it seems like, okay. So, but still in this position, I thought, Black's not doing too badly. It's +5 according to the engines, but yeah, at this point, I was saying just take h7 first. But okay, that's the third best move. Just takes d8 as best, apparently. So yeah, this is obviously the huge mistake. So you need to maintain control. So in this position, probably you need to do improving moves. So I'd be thinking of this maybe. d5 is interesting, but it allows this. So I'll just have a look at the engine. d6 is considered. Surprisingly, it quite likes bishop takes c3. But yeah, d6 just to control this. This is still coming. This is the problem. And it just wants to even just do this, just to try and clear out this threat. But anyway, I shouldn't. Just to try and reinforce the dark squares, because this attack is so strong, and you need a knight to protect h7. And at some point, you want to open up this diagonal and create pressure along this diagonal. Anyway, back to the live game. I should give more live commentary, I guess, or closer to live commentary. So, interesting. D4, E5. Okay, so cross online going for another pawn sack, but one I haven't seen that much in Crazyhouse. So takes, takes. So he's going for the early queenish trade. Note, white never wants to take the queen because it brings the rook in, and queen at d1 is a mate threat. Okay, but he also doesn't want that because then his king can't castle. But nevertheless, white's got some. His king is okay. The pawn checks are covered. So here the problem is pawn takes knight, queen here is checkmate because of the pin. So this is a problem. Okay, he's smart. He notices. So that's good from MisterSir. This square notice is still covered. Takes, takes, takes. Okay, so 2 pawns for the piece. Not bad, not bad. And that's the risk. That's the weak square in black's position. Okay, he hits the rook. Oh, the bishop can just take back. Bishop can take back. If you take with the knight, you lose your bishop. So he took with the knight, and he's okay. So Gingerbread Man says, what could he do differently in the opening, especially if he wants to avoid too much opening theory, as you said? Yeah, I've had this problem myself in Crazyhouse in league matches. I'm playing against someone who I know knows a lot of theory. I try and play some weird stuff, and I just get crushed positionally. So yeah, that is the weakness, like I said. But is there a follow-up? Because the bishop is defended by the knight, so even if the king were to slide away, this is not the end of the world. But it's certainly uncomfortable. So he goes for the bishop. That's nice, because if he ever wants a knight, he can pick up a knight. He does pick up the knight. That's actually quite dangerous, because knight there looks close to mating. It's not mating. Yes, it is mating. So knight here, pawn here, and this is mating. So this is serious stuff here. Cross online has gone from a really nice position, but because of just not being careful, I don't know. MisterSir's played really nice, I have to say. Just a certain like thematic weaknesses, like maybe he's not as familiar with Crazyhouse as Cross Online. That is for sure, and that has cost him in some critical positions. Cross Online is in serious trouble here. He just simply does this to stop this. It doesn't stop this though. Knight here. Oh, he wants to slide away. Well, that is interesting. And this is covered. Okay, interesting. I mean, this is a terrible move because pawn here. Oh, he missed it. But queen. Yeah, this is just up. Yeah. So this is also just getting pulverized. Checkmate. Oh, not checkmate. Black just resigns. So, oh, yeah, because that's defended by the bishop. Okay, I didn't see. Okay, let's have a look at that. Yeah, he's attacking really nicely as MisterSir. Like in this position, is there defense for? Is there defense? There's no defense apparently. And after this, what's the mate? Okay, if I just want to, I'd have just gone at g7, but is that dangerous going at g7? You're not getting mated or anything. No, you're still winning. But queen d7 is correct. King f8 at g7 takes, and knight at e6 is the checkmate, using the fact that bishop covers here. Whereas what happened in the game was queen d7 here, queen takes bishop here. Oh, bishop at f8 is also checkmate in 1. Missed that. Okay, but he instead goes for this. Oh, and the idea is to deflect the knight, and then you've got bishop here, checkmate. Okay, so that's what I missed, which both players saw. So kudos to them. I was still a little bit behind. So opposite disguise, yeah, knight e6, pawn d7, knight e6, nice mate. Queen d8 is mate, one move slower. The other way around it's mate. Okay, just quickly going back to now we're looking at it's a fun match. 4-2 to cross online. This is game 7. Yeah, this attack on the dark squares is coming, and he maybe just has to just reinforce. This is good too. Takes. Ooh, because we have bishop e5 and hitting g7. And these are the sorts of positions where maybe, yeah, actually taking this not so good because you've got a pawn and still pressure on f6. So, and now here the queen's on the wrong side of the board. The best move here for white is probably just to sack straight away. But takes is also strong. Knight here, check, takes here, pawn here, takes, bishop takes pawn. And the threat is simply pawn here. No, that doesn't quite work because the king can slide up. So the question is, how do you checkmate? Yeah, I shouldn't. But this is just really uncomfortable for black. No counterplay on the white king. A king which only has one safe square. So the first thing he has to do is not give white any more pieces, so no trades. If he does this, it's game over, for example. That's the first thing. The second thing he has to do is somehow clear out these dangerous pieces that are in his position. So maybe a move like this. It has an eye on this, but just trying to clear out pieces. So he's doing it this way. I think he has aggressive intentions. Takes. Doesn't work because king h1 is always safe. And he never wants to trade. Maybe he's thinking this knight is a dangerous piece. If I take the knight, maybe I'm freeing up a lot of squares. Oh, beautiful. Oh. I didn't see that at all. That was really pretty because none of these squares were controlled by black. By black, yeah. So my idea of knight here would have stopped the queen d2 idea. So knight here also would have also been a defensive resource. But this is, yeah, this is very nice because the queen threatened to come in, and even if king h5, that's the one piece that can mate the king on h5. Bishop. So Oppa says bishop d6 defends f6, but f4 is his idea. Yes. Okay, so pawn here was inevitable, king h5, and so the king is just hanging on, defended. This is going to be tough. I was thinking it was just about defended by this bishop. But now you see white's shifted from a dark square attack to a light square attack. And it's just going to be very hard to stop white getting a diagonal piece on g4. Like if the bishop backed off, simply g4, takes, discovered, check. I mean, there'll be better ways of doing it, but takes. Okay, so he's trying to give himself some luft. So king takes pawn, discovered check. The problem is, yeah, it's all over. The queen invading is the most efficient way. Other ways too, getting in on the dark square somehow. So king here. Well, the knight also covers the escape for the king back to g6, so that's actually strong for that reason as well. That's interesting. That's an interesting try. It's forced. And mate in 1. So I missed the Lichess chat in that game. What were people saying? Cat Poacher was asking what the score was. Instead of queen d2, pawn at g5, knight e5 looked winning. Yes. I mean, the problem is, what do you do in a position like this? It's already probably lost. Yeah, that's the problem. You've let probably that was the last chance. Just knight b7, just try and reinforce it, but it's really hard. It's really hard in this position. So you've let white come too far into your camp. Maybe the thing here, I was thinking here maybe, but maybe that doesn't work. h6 takes. You just want to try and get more control on the dark squares. But yeah. Okay, now here, getting back to the current game. We have another e4. Okay, so the threat was this. Knight throws in a check, castles, takes. So black just threw away a pawn there. I'm not quite sure why. Takes. He thought I'm going to get some kind of activity on here, but you see how this game white has reinforced nicely, so this is nothing. You can even put a pawn on d3, for example, or you can put a bishop on d3. If he takes, you take back. So bishop on d3 is sort of very like reinforcing everything kind of move. I think that's the one weakness MisterSir has found, is he's not using the new pieces, he's saving them up too much. And if you save them up, you don't have enough pieces on the board. And then of course when he attacks hard. He really does. Very dangerous attacker is MisterSir. Clearcast, welcome. That's so good to see you, and good to see you back streaming Crazyhouse again. And he says, I think pawn at g5, knight e5 was the way to go in that last game. Yep. So pawn at g5, king comes to h5, knight e5, and then there's lots of pressure on the diagonal. So you got a bishop. Yes, that was tough. So just last couple of moves this game. MisterSir's come in with an attack, but is he going to get attacked himself? Sometimes in these positions you even want to just give away your queen just to maintain your attack. So, for example, queen takes rook, knight takes at h7, and you're probably picking up another piece as well, because if the knight just moves, you're queening. And Cat Poacher says exactly the same thing. Yeah, so I think that it would keep your initiative, and you get a couple of pieces for the queen. But this is still decent. Rook can't move because this. Cross online doesn't really have enough in hand. I mean, he just has to let that rook fall, basically, and go knight takes. But then, yeah, so I think he just has to keep going with his attack. Pawn takes pawn takes rook, knight takes. I think. So it's slightly uncomfortable, but what else do you do? But then there could be a rook on the back rank, another pawn at h7 coming. So why is white doing so nicely here? I think white's doing nicely here because, well, black has nothing in hand, and this bishop is the key piece. Just controlling things a little bit. Having said that, what he's not doing nicely is he doesn't have good back rank control because he hasn't developed this bishop yet. Hi there, Afgala, aka Pethidine. This is just a short stream covering Cross Online against MisterSir. Cross Online is actually 5-2 up, so this is, if he wins this, it's all over. Oppa says one can take simply material and be safe, no need for sacks. Oh, okay, so takes, and get out the way. Takes. Okay. I'm not sure who's winning this. I'm kind of confused. I feel because the king is suddenly feels very safe on d7. I can't see an obvious way in. I think just have to take it. I think just take. I feel like you have to take all and let's see what people are saying. The problem with taking it is pawn at h3. Very simple move. Oh, this is looking uncomfortable. You're losing more material. So, Oppa, what went wrong here for either side? For white, I guess. I thought it takes and king running out the way. Well, that was a good find. Bishop here. He took the wrong thing. Like, surely you take this one. He took, that's the thing. He took the wrong piece. So this allowed black to get very safe. So bishop here takes here, and surely white is safe forever. Not forever, but for a long time at least. So this didn't help the position. Maybe he thought takes g2, takes g2, king takes g2, bishop at e4, queen takes e4, bishop. Well, this is okay. No need for takes e4. Okay. Oh, so yeah, I'm not entirely following. So I'm just going to read out Oppa's comment. So maybe he thought takes g2, takes g2. Okay, I was going to. I'm not following the com. Whoa. Okay, I'm just stunned. Suddenly, I'm stunned. Suddenly. Oh no, that's a mistake. Isn't it a mistake? Is it a mistake? But suddenly MisterSir gets this huge counterattack. I'm just so stunned by this game. Someone was asking me on Lichess, it's much easier to message on Twitch because I can't see the full messages. Am I using Streamlabs OBS? I'm just using OBS, I'm not using Streamlabs. Knight takes knight, what? Pawn takes? Ah, man. Okay, so MisterSir just had a lot of material there, but my goodness, what a crazy game that was. Okay, we're gonna have to look at this game. I know we should be looking at live action or as close to live action as possible. Okay, so this just feels like you're wasting a pawn, and here I was saying just reinforce bishop at d3, even at d3. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, so by moving, okay, it's fine. Takes, knight here, takes, queen here, and this is the position where, yes, it's slightly. So what was the suggestion? Just takes g2. So white would be winning if you just take g2. So so white's winning here. So white is up material, and okay. So it's a good find. Okay, so if you just take g2, takes. I was thinking, yeah, takes here, takes here. I thought this was the best defense from black, but oh yeah, bishop takes g2 at the end. Okay. Yeah, so that would be. So there's nothing. We're not going for the kill. We're sort of defending, and then okay. Now knight takes, queen takes, king here. This is really good. I didn't see a. But after bishop here, I thought that white should probably have taken this pawn. That was my feeling. And the engine is even more like white is completely winning. Just go straight in for bishop takes e6, which is wow. Okay. Saying basically black has no material for an attack right now. Just go in and kill him. But taking the knight, and I feel like, okay, I thought now, I completely misunderstood this position because now I thought black was winning. And the reason I thought it was winning is just bishop takes g2. I was worried about, at h3 or stuff like. I didn't think take the sack immediately, but apparently the sack immediately is better. So I didn't realize how much white was just winning this game. King takes, bishop here, check, blocks. So apparently the whole time white is actually just winning. Black doesn't have enough material. And then of course here, Was there a smarter mate? No, Queen at c7 was good. King a6 would have been a bit more annoying. Knight here checks quite nice, because if knight takes knight, we have bishop takes pawn, king takes knight, and this is checkmate. So that's a nice one. So he has to go king takes knight. But then, okay, we can pick up another knight if we want it. The king might be running here, it's just slightly annoying. At here, just to block off this square, he could take it, but then a4 is checkmate. So king a4 maybe, bishop c2, and he can block, but this is checkmate, double checkmate. Okay, but what happened in the game was also good, which was queen takes pawn, blocks, bishop takes knight check, picks up the knight. Of course, b4 immediately was better, but he threw away a knight and then went b4, rook takes, and then of course pawn takes was mate, but he went for a slightly slower mate. Okay, but great comeback. Well, I thought it was a comeback from MisterSir, but I look at the engine and apparently he's winning the whole game. Okay, so back to the live action. And it's going to be another game as black, which is always tough in Crazyhouse. Gets a nice attack on g2, and I'm going to read the Twitch chat in a second. I'm just going to try and catch up with the live action, because we are seeing... So he's doing quite well this game, I feel, is black. Knight's defending this, you don't need to be worried about that at all. The only thing to be worried about is at h7, I'm very concerned about. And he just goes, whoa, he just wants a pawn, what? Sacking all his pieces. So MisterSir just really sacking hard. Okay, let's catch up with the chat. So Oppa was saying much earlier about the last game, one can simply take material, just take everything on g2, etc. White is up material, got a lot of pieces to sack, no need for take c4, but still white is winning, not even close. Yeah, so Oppa was saying what I didn't realise. After h takes g2, yeah, nice. King a6, knight b4, yeah. Hi there, Vlaming Vlog SYT, hi. And hi there, Happiness Bunny. Vlaming Vlog SYT says, how do you join? The Crazyhouse World Championship has started, so no new entrants can join. But we can spectate, and it's fun to watch. And I have a playlist on YouTube. If you just search on YouTube for Crazyhouse World Championship, there's one for the 2018 World Championship, a whole playlist of like 100 videos. There's one for the 2019 Bullet World Championship, and now there's just one starting up for the 2020 Crazyhouse World Championship, which is the second, the third World Championship, in fact. So the first was won by Jan Lee, the second was won by Oppa Wazen, and this one, we're at the double elimination stage to choose the candidates to face, who will then all play each other in a round robin, and face Oppa Wazen in the final. Let's have a look at the Lichess chat. Bughouse Master is being as toxic as ever, so I don't think he'll last long in the Lichess chat. Having been let back in on Lichess chat, I think he's going to be banned again rather soon. So, Gingerbread Man says, "Okay, always working so hard. We appreciate it a lot." No, this isn't work. Okay, so black I thought had some interesting attack, and then suddenly, where is it? But white's like, give me a pawn, and it's mating. But queen is not quite enough. Can't mate with the knight. Can you? No, it doesn't work. It's close, but it doesn't work. No. White wants a pawn. He's got a pawn, but is he worried about getting mated? That's the question. Yes, he will get mated. And so he goes for defensive. He's just going to pick up the knight. Oh, is it defensive? Yeah, you have to block. Rook here is the cunning move. Rook here is the cunning move. But then he has a rook, but that's fine. Yeah. But now he's getting very safe. Oh, but there's knight here picking the queen back up again. So I think MisterSir is doing really nicely this game. Still just pick up a queen. Pick up the queen with. I mean, this is just all over. Less than 10 seconds each, but it's all over. Well, that's sacking hard. Whoa, I mean, king takes bishop was possible, but maybe queen here was an idea. Oh my goodness. Got swindled. Nice mate found at the end, by the way. By Cross Online. He's only got knights in hand. He just finds the only mate there is in the position with knights. With only knights. Ouch. So it was all just because this one square is not defended. Okay, so where is the mate? So here's sort of interesting because I think he wanted king takes and to get behind. I think he was wanting something like the queen h2 blocks. I mean, he has another queen in hand. This is just tragic. Takes, bishop takes, king h5. He has got a rook in hand. He's got everything in hand. I mean, this is really tragic. So the quicker way of doing it was just queen at g1. So you block the king escape route and just immediately, and then put another queen. I'll say put another queen on h2, but okay. The engine wants rook at h3 first, and then queen at h2, which is sneaky, I have to admit, because then the king can't run away. So queen h2 immediately, and the king is slightly running away to here. Yeah, so it's not so clear. It's not so obvious. You can grab a knight, that's the easiest thing to do. Takes, and then we have a knight, so we can stop. It doesn't work. Okay, so this is just kind of annoying. So you can go queen here. So you're threatening queen takes g4 checkmate. That is nasty. Okay, so he does have to run, and now you can go bishop at f3, king e1, and rook e2. So it's not so easy, not an easy mate at all. You really want to find this mate here if you possibly can. Rook at h3, stop the king, and it is a logical mate. The king wants to run to f3, and so you cover the king's escape route, and then you deliver the checkmate. Okay, let's see if they're playing the full 10 games. They are indeed. Okay, so Cross Online has just won it 6 games to 3 with 1 game to play. And Opera in Disguise says Queen at h4 in that last game. Gingerbread Man says MisterSir fought admirably. Indeed, he did. I mean, he played very well. And Opera says no need for hard mates. Enough material in hand. Well, just exactly. You just need to. What you do need to do is just also stay safe from mates yourself. So, very nice mate actually that Cross Online found. So this game, whoa, so you see how there's a piece lost here, but counter sack just going in is MisterSir, as we saw a lot, and it's a strong move. We're up to the live position. This is slightly uncomfortable. Nice idea here. So if king takes rook, knight here picks up queen, and MisterSir says, nope, I'm not having that. I'm going to take your queen. So now he's threatening mate. Okay. So what's the king going to do here? He's got to be careful because king here, knight at h1 is checkmate. I think he's in trouble. So Happiness Bunny says, MisterSir is love 3 against me. Or I am love 3 against MisterSir. Okay, so he's pretty decent. Okay, so rook here. going for a runner. Where's he? So in all these sorts of situations where you're trying to go, the king is trying to go for a runner. This is actually quite hard. Like if black doesn't mate white with all this material, there's the threat of queen here checkmate, but there must be other mates as well in the position. Like you defend that mate in some way. Like suppose you had. So I can't see another mate, but I'm just sure there is one. White has enough. So basically, black does have to find a mate. So how do you find a mate in this sort of situation? You have to try and see where is the king running, and are there checks I can give which will cover the escape route. So like knight here is interesting, but the king will just run, and so these rooks, if the king ever runs to here, notice would have rook takes pawn. So we need to find some checks to deal with these two squares. And so if you actually think about this, you're going to realize, maybe, and yeah, you get some ideas. I've seen an idea, so I've seen the mate. So can you see the mate in this position? It's a challenge. Find the mate, find the mate. Bishops, oh, well, people are saying in the Lee Chess chat. Yeah. No, so this is not, I don't think this works. Yeah. So knight c1 was mate. So how do you find it? Because knight c1 covers this square. Actually, was it mate? Let me think. Because yeah, knight c1 is mate. Knight c1 is mate because then the king only has two squares. And if the king ever comes... Oh, maybe it's not. I was thinking rook here, check, and I miscalculated. Yeah, I miscalculated. I miscalculated. I was thinking... And of course, if here, then bishop here is checkmate. But... so knight c1, king d2, and it's not so clear. I was thinking rook e2, but the queen was covering that square. But the advantage of knight c1 is it covered the king's runner. But okay. So let's see, what does Oppa say? He says knight e5 takes d8 ideas. Knight e5. Ooh. Yeah, that is an interesting idea. Just knight at e5 takes, and then take d8, and then at least we're covering the mates. And we're covering e6. So that's a kind of defensive approach. Interesting, interesting. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, has he found it? This is really good. So, king can't run up, it has to run down. Oh my word! Cross online! And Oppa says, 3 pieces in hand, got to be enough. Oh, to get the extra knight in hand. And you think, okay, but cross online, I think he did something amazing there. We were all saying, white looks so safe here. After knight here, we couldn't see the mate after knight here. But yeah, rook takes pawn, knight takes pawn, knight c1, and bishop b4. That was very pretty. Was there something missed earlier, like maybe using the other bishop? Bishop at e2, takes e3. So there are lots of mates here, but what was a better way of doing it? So the better way of doing it was going knight h1 to start with. That's sneaky. So if king comes up, rook f2 is mate. That's the first thing. So the king has to go this way, and then going bishop f1. So you're cutting the escape route here. So the king has to go this way. Oh, this is cruel. This is utterly cruel. that is an utterly cruel way of doing it. And now this way, there were mates also. So there were some sneaky mates. So here, if takes, then knight at c1 check. If king c3, bishop b4. But if you go back, then we're winning the queen with check, and so then it's all over. So, interesting stuff. Yeah, I'm not going to play anything. I'm not going to play any games for now. This has just been a quick commentary stream. Knight h1 is nice, with 4 pieces on the first rank. Yeah, I'll end the stream with that picture. So was white doing okay at any point? Surprisingly, he was doing okay, just taking that rook. And Really? Apparently. White doesn't have enough, like it doesn't have pawns. So if ever you go something like bishop at f2, you just slide into the corner. Of course, if you go the other way, you're going to get mated. King f1, then there's bishop at e2, drawing you out, and things start getting serious. Knight takes d4, threatening to come in. So you really need to keep your king safe in the corner. I don't know, MisterSir showed some real Crazyhouse talent as well as insight in these games, but also maybe maybe also one or two elements of his inexperience in cross online. Obviously had the greater experience and squeezed through 7-3 in the end. But yeah, let's finish with that pretty mate. Knight h1 just to keep the king tied down. Bishop here cuts the king from going to the third rank here, and so that's the picture. So there's no escape. And we had a rook in hand as well, so there were, yeah, were there other ways of doing it in this position? Rook at f2, but then the problem is the king comes out, and then things get more complicated. Knight takes a2, knight c1, but this sort of theme is quite nice. Okay, but we'll finish with we'll finish the stream with this image. Okay, so thanks for joining. Sorry I couldn't play any games, and I'll check my messages. Gingerbread Man says the relentless attack is so tough, and Pestadine says thanks for the stream. Thank you for watching. Really glad that I could share this with you all. Have a good day, everyone.